Chapter 3: The Dwarves. Self-sufficient, self-reliant. Dwarves are a proud race with a strong sense of honor and desire for coin. Despite their lack of height and magical incapability, the dwarves are arguably the most efficient and resourceful race. Their efforts in trade and military have been integral to the livelihood of Thedas. Underneath the surface world, the dwarves once thrived in numerous thags, cities holding families and communities across all of Thedas.
These thags were connected by the tunnels called the Deep Roads. Over time, the tainted Darkspawn overran and blocked those passages. After years of progressively being forced out, the dwarves made their homes in two central locations. One is Shaperate, the once hailed capital of all dwarven civilization, and now an isolated city. The other is Osramar, the thriving dwarven metropolis, and home to many known dwarves walking the continent. In Osramar, not all dwarves are equal. In this monarchy, beyond the royal family, society adheres to a caste system.
At the top is the noble caste, the highest echelon of Osramar's societal body. The most influential nobles and the royal family manage a forum that settles on politics, aptly named the Assembly. Dwindling down the social climate are the artisans, miners, merchants, smiths, warriors, and servants. Below them are the casteless. While the casteless exist, residents of Osramar do not consider them of worth. Most are left to rot in the slums of Dust Town. But society continues on, as the caste system debatably works to favor those who act on duty. Dwarves do not believe in deities the same way humans and elves do. Dwarves revere the stone, the earth they originate from, and which provides resources like ore and lyrium to keep civilization alive.
Dwarves believe they are born of the stone, and at death, they return to her. Instead of gods, dwarves honor the strength of those both living and dead who have proven themselves worthy. These heroes have paved the way for progressing dwarven civilization, whether that be through their strength, intelligence, or craft. As such, they are remembered throughout the ages, given the name paragons. The greatness of one dwarf's accomplishment is hailed higher than any god. History remembers them, and today's dwarves recount their tales.
In preserving what history the dwarven people have, the Shaperate is an archive with members in charge of recording knowledge for past and future. 3 types of Shapers exist. The Shaperate of memory, the most known and common Shaper, governs and collects the most poignant events of each age. The Shaperate of stone holds an upkeep of everyday records, such as marriage and work. The Shaperate of golems technically exists, but it is no longer managed, since golems are no longer created. Unlike the elves of old, the dwarves keep their history mostly intact. While an ongoing process and not a perfect collection of events, the memories of the Shaperate hold the most long-standing records to date.
But the dwarves would not be alive with their long-standing history if it were not for their warrior caste, and even more so, the Legion of the Dead. The Legion of the Dead is an organization that only exists for the sake of defeating Darkspawn. Because of the dwarves' presence underground, they must constantly fight back against these monstrosities that inhabit the Deep Roads. The Legions sacrifice their lives in pursuit of protecting other dwarves, throwing themselves against the encroaching evil that continues to push into Osramar. At times, the military will also fight the Darkspawn in campaigns. It is through their efforts that the dwarves continue to live their lives comfortably underground.
In the modern age, the state of dwarven affairs is shed in a different light. Although they continue to tirelessly fight against malevolent forces underground, a new threat arises. Now that demons pour forth from the Veil, Thedas is in danger. With Ferelden still recovering from the Blight, as well as Orlais suffering from civil war, Orzammar's citizens can't remain buried beneath rock forever. With the need for more hands to combat such recklessness, more dwarves may be forced to join the other nations in their fight on the surface. But that
is a story for another day.